Mark here at Bill of Rights. Thought I'd give you an update on this $150 boat I bought. If you saw in the last video, you noticed that I got the motor running, so I was encouraged that I was going to be going on from there. I've kind of run into some snags with this motor though. What I've done is so far, is changed the plugs on it. I've taken the carburetor off and rebuilt it. Them dirt daubers get everywhere. I'm right now waiting on a fuel pump for it, and I'll install that, and that's going to be no big deal. But where I'm stumbling right now is on the lower unit. I made the big mistake of taking the wrong screw out of the bottom. And displacing, I guess, something inside there. And so I've had to tear it down and try to get it fixed. And while I was in there, I found that it was missing a part. And so there's a good chance that it wasn't going to work. The motor would, it wasn't going to propel anyway. So I guess the mistake turned out to be something that needed to happen anyway. But I'll show you some of the things that's going on with that. What I have here is the gear shaft that goes inside of in there, and you can see I've got it all torn apart, but it's missing a ring. One of these rings here goes back here somewhere. So I've got it ordered, and as soon as it comes in, I'll put it in. And I'm hoping that that fixes it, but I haven't been real optimistic because it seems like every time I get this thing somewhat together, the shifter doesn't seem to want to shift, but I'm hoping that that part makes a big difference. Now I've taken the old water pump off, and I had actually installed the new one, and I went ahead and took it off again because I thought I needed to get inside here to do some of the work in there, and found out I didn't have to do that. So I'm going to get to install that water pump twice. So as you can see right now, the motor's torn down a little bit. I'm waiting on this fuel pump here. I had broken. It had gotten broken here while I was taking off the hose. I went ahead and replaced this hose. It comes from the carburetor. So I've got it waiting, and I'll cut it to size, and then as soon as I get it, I'm going to put that new one on. I'm just as well that it put a new one on anyway. One other thing I have done is, as I stripped out all the this shifter box had some broken parts in it. These are the casing guides that go inside of it, and both of them are broke right at these, where you can see where the screw would go there. So I've got some more ordered. Additionally, I decided to go ahead and replace the cables for both the gear, the gear shift, and for the throttle cable. And I've also taken apart on here the steering wheel. Now the steering wheel was working, but it was kind of stiff, and I thought, while I'm doing all this, I'll just do it all together new. So the aim here is to get the motor running and operational for the lake, get all new cables installed so that I have good steering, good throttle adjustment and all that. Once that's done, I'm going to take it to the lake and do a test run in it. And of course I'll take y'all with me when I do that. Okay, so to kind of catch you up, let you know what the future is for this boat. Of course, the first thing I've got to do is get this motor running. I've got to get it, you know, the steering wheel and cables and all that stuff functional and lake ready before I do any of the cosmetic changes. But beyond that, once that happens, and if it happens, I will be repainting this boat. I'm going to add a front deck to it. I might put a back deck in it. I'm going to change out the seats in it. I'm going to add some kind of electronic box, you know, switch box, and run wiring, you know, underneath some areas for lighting, and you know, and so I'll have access to electrical for USB ports for charging batteries and or cell phones and things like that. So, and then you know, eventually I'm also going to refurbish the trailer, and I'm going to have this thing looking like as much as I can, like a neat little, brand new little old bass boat. And while I'm along the way, I'll give updates on the cost of how all this is going. In this video, you'll see a list of where I'm at today on cost. Okay, thanks.